So why don't we start with a deep breath? And from the late 70s, it just grew and grew and grew until now is the fastest growing psychotherapeutical intervention and kind of school. But then, if we're going to talk about mindfulness, let's start with the basics. The philosophical assumptions behind mindfulness. There are two key components of all mindfulness-based approaches: awareness and acceptance. To encourage awareness, clients are taught to expand their attention to their own inner processes and experiences in the present moment, to dwell in the present. The second component is acceptance. Acceptance of whatever arises in consciousness, of whatever one is aware. So in mindfulness, there are two key components: awareness and acceptance. So we are taught through mindfulness to be much more aware of what's going on inside of us without being reactive, just being aware and accepting whatever it is. And again, that's where one of these terms that I love the most from mindfulness, which is called radical acceptance, in which you're radically accepting everything that is going on. And the way you accept is through love. So you love, not just accept, you love whatever is going on. These two components are usually easier understood than taken to practice, since there is an array of things that the client or student of mindfulness do not want to think about or attend to. Usually, people do not want to be aware of their insecurities, defects, failures, or fears, or to remember one's traumas or any negativity, really. So what do we as humans usually tend to do? We become really good at sorting out our thoughts and emotions. So instead of just accepting them and being aware, we sort them out into good thoughts and bad thoughts. Like, get rid of this emotion. Oh, this is an amazing emotion, bask in it. But we don't learn how to integrate it. But then, isn't becoming an expert at chasing pleasure and avoiding pain the secret to a happier life? Well, mindfulness tells us that that's not the reality. The same way as Buddhism tells us, and any spiritual practice really tells us that's not the reality. Because this chronic sorting out of so-called negative and positive thoughts and feelings can lead to all sorts of psychological pain, such as never being good enough, having low self-esteem, anxiety, etc. So these two concepts of awareness and acceptance form the basis of mindfulness, but there are many more concepts worth discussing. But first, let's take a look at psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis tells us that in general, we have three major ways of handling feelings and thoughts: suppression, expression, and escape. So, suppression. When it comes to suppression, there's two kinds: suppression and repression. Suppression is when we push feelings down unconsciously, and repression is when we do so consciously. Denial and projection are associated with this type of defense mechanism. These defense mechanisms pushes down negativity as soon as it is about to emerge, and this can lead to major emotional and maturational blocks.